Welcome to Meet the Candidates. I'm your host, Kim Kotis, and joining me is Joe Bush, candidate for Muskegon County Probate Judge. Welcome, Joe.
Thank you.
So, Joe, tell me why you're running for Probate Judge and a little bit about your experience.
Well, Kim, I'm running for probate court judge because it's been a lifelong goal for me. It's a career goal. When I was a child, my father was an attorney. He passed away when I was very young, so I never knew my father. And I always thought I wanted to be an attorney because my dad was an attorney. And I didn't really know what an attorney was. And when I was in high school, I ended up having an opportunity to intern and work with my brother-in-law and my uncle who were working together in a law firm. And I spent a summer working several trials and being in and out of the courtroom. And I was fascinated by it and by the process. And I knew coming out of that experience that that was what I wanted to do, is that ultimately I wanted to be a judge because I saw how in everyday life a judge can impact people and make their lives better and have a significant effect on the community and make the community safer, make the community more protected, give them an opportunity to people in the community to see that there's fairness and that there's justice that's done. And I really appreciated that. And it was really a humbling experience for me because the light bulb kind of went on at a young age. And so I've been working for law firms or in law-related fields pretty much since I've been 15 years old.
So that call to service really was something that struck deep inside of you, that there's something you can do to make a difference.
It did. I love helping people, and that's just by my nature. I enjoy helping people. I love my clients. I have a passion for the law and a passion for helping people, which is part of the community service I've been involved in as well, is trying to do my best every day to see how I can impact someone's life for the better.
Well, let's talk about some of the practice that you've had. You've had a variety of experience in the legal profession. Can you explain to the public a little bit about the kinds of cases you've handled through the years?
Sure. I've been a commercial litigator doing commercial and business litigation, and that's really how I got my start. Coming out of law school, I wanted to do probate and estate planning. When you're a little younger, sometimes it's not always easy for people to share their personal financial information with a young guy that's a little wet behind the ears. So I really cut my teeth in court, and that started in law school. The last 2 years of law school, I did an externship with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for child protection, working in the 36th District Court in Detroit and the Wayne County Circuit Court, and had a number of trials there. Learned kind of how to cut my teeth a little bit around the courtroom and focusing on the rules of evidence and how to present testimony and give a persuasive argument. I took that to Muskegon after I passed the bar. I started working with a business firm doing commercial litigation, business and real estate work, trying to represent clients in that arena and doing that successfully for a number of years. Insurance defense, for premises liability, malpractice defense, and working for realtors for errors and omissions claims, dealing with real estate transactions. Over a period of time, I started doing more family and civil type, general civil claims, so divorce, custody, child support issues, and also probate litigation, going to court when people are contesting estates and trusts. And in addition to that, also a select handful of criminal cases, mostly focusing on white-collar type issues, white-collar crime, and more business-related, embezzlement, things of that nature. And either defending people in that or assisting in the civil side of things for corporations, making sure that the perpetrators were prosecuted properly by setting up a legitimate civil claim that we can then bring to the prosecutors so they can pursue justice there.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how this probate position is now newly redefined to be more of a family court position.
Sure. Well, the court currently, Judge Mullally currently is essentially the business court, and Michigan passed the concurrent jurisdiction statute a few years back In order to save money, they can essentially turn the probate court into a general civil court, or not general, but really like the circuit court. And so they can hear any matter that gets assigned to them essentially from the circuit court. And what they've done is, if there's enough judges, if there are 4 judges or more on your circuit court, they can create a separate business court. And because we have 4 judges on the circuit here in Muskegon, we've created a designated family court and a designated business court. And right now, probate is business. Now, the state court administrator and the chief judge work to design who's going to hear what docket. And as of right now, we're being told that this new judge that comes in will hear primarily family law and some probate, and that they're going to reassign the business court. They'll reassign some of the probate, keep some of that, and then also bring in family. And that works to my advantage because I'm qualified and practice and specialize in family law and in probate. So it really fits. And I also have the added benefit from a business standpoint, should there be a need to make the business court have overflow to me, or to have even a criminal matter, I still have the requisite background and experience in that area, those areas of law where I could handle those matters.
Let's talk about your passion for the law and how you feel that the law is important in terms of serving all that come before the court. And in particular, now with War Family Court, you're dealing with not only domestic issues, but you're dealing with custody cases, you're dealing with some juvenile issues. What are some of the things that you've learned in your experience that drive you in terms of really feeling this is the right position for you?
Well, I think what I've learned in almost 20 years of practice and 20 years in court, being in a courtroom, upwards of 30 actually being in and out of courtrooms in Michigan, is that people want to be heard, and people want to have their day in court. They want to feel as if they've had that opportunity to say their piece and that they're getting a fair shake. And that's really important, is that someone comes away from the experience knowing that justice has been done. They may not win, but at least they were heard, and that when they were heard, the judge that heard their matter at least considered what they had to say and treated them with respect and gave them every opportunity to present their case within what the law would allow. And I think that's really important, is that people have an opportunity to feel as if they've had that matter adjudicated properly and fairly, and that they were treated with respect and dignity. Because at the end of the day, we're all equal under the eyes of the law, and we have to be treated fairly. And if that doesn't happen, then justice really won't be served.
Hi, I'm Terry Sabo. I'm currently the chairman of the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners and also a 25-year veteran of the City of Muskegon Heights Police and Fire Departments. Prior to that, I was on the Muskegon County Road Commission for 2 years and a veteran of the United States Air Force. I've spent a career on bringing people together to solve problems, and I intend to take that attitude to Lansing with me when I'm elected as your next state representative. So on August 2nd, I hope to earn your vote as the next state representative for the 92nd District.
Hi, I'm attorney Joe Bush, and I'm a candidate for Muskegon County Probate Court Judge. I've lived in Muskegon County my whole life, and I've practiced here for over 19 years. I specialize in family law and probate. I am the most qualified candidate for Muskegon County Probate Court Judge because I have the right integrity, diligence, temperament, and professional experience. And I ask for your vote on August 2nd in the primary.
Hi, my name is Michael Poulin, and I'm a candidate for the office of Sheriff in Muskegon County. This office has been a career goal of mine, and I've directed my professional law enforcement career towards it. My qualifications are based on my education, my professional development, and over 28 years of law enforcement experience here in Muskegon County. During my career at the Sheriff's Office, I was promoted through the ranks, ultimately serving as captain. Having the opportunity to lead every division from jail administrator, traffic services supervisor, training coordinator, SWAT commander, and detective bureau supervisor. As your sheriff, I will be fiscally responsible and put an end to wasteful spending. I will ensure that your safety and the safety of the public safety community are my #1 priority. Through professional development and community support, I will bring integrity and accountability back to the office of sheriff. Thank you for your time. I would appreciate your consideration on August 2nd to serve as your next Muskegon County Sheriff.
Hello, I am Paula Baker Mathis and I am running for District Court Judge. I have over 20 years of trial experience. I've been an assistant prosecutor, a defense attorney, and a civil lawyer. I have handled hundreds of cases in the courtroom, including jury trials for cases such as murder, criminal sexual conduct, and other assaults. I have demonstrated the ability and focus to make difficult decisions under pressure. Muskegon deserves a judge with trial experience and a commitment to protecting our community. Please vote Paula Baker Mathis for District Court Judge.
Welcome back to Meet the Candidates. I'm your host, Kim and joining me is Joe Bush, candidate for Muskegon County Probate Judge. Well, Joe, tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and how you got involved in the community.
Thanks, Kim. I am originally from Muskegon. I was born and raised here. I attended North Muskegon High School. I graduated in 1989. After I attended Michigan State University and then Michigan State for law school, I moved back to Muskegon. I love Muskegon. I love living on the lake shore. It was really important to me to kind of move back to my hometown and be part of this community. And that's where I chose to settle down after school. My wife is from here as well, born and raised. And so when I moved back, I wanted to give back to the community as well. So I got involved in a number of different charitable organizations, a few of those. Right now I sit on the board for Mission for Area People. And I've been on that board since 2010. We are responsible for the supper house that's run there, a backpack program for disadvantaged children each year so that they have a new backpack and school supplies at the start of the year. We also have a food pantry and a clothing pantry for people who are in need. And we have a medical gap program so that if people fall in the donut hole and they can't afford their medication, we have money and support in place so that they can get their medication until that period is covered and they're able to not go into debt or worse yet, go off of their medication. So that's a really important charity to me. I do a lot of work on that board. I've also sat as past president of the Muskegon County Bar Association. I was also past president of Neighborhood Investment Corporation, which helped with down payment assistance and mortgage for low-income housing and first-time homebuyers who otherwise wouldn't be able to get a mortgage. And we also helped with foreclosure prevention and enjoyed that very much and spent about 10 years on that board as well before the organization did dissolve. I've also been on Ducks Unlimited's sponsor committee. We've raised over $50,000 a year. For about 10 years straight, I was on that board, so close to, I'd say $500,000, $500,000. And a lot of that money came back to Muskegon. We've put over $1 million into the Muskegon Rivershed for restoration and conservation. And so I'm very proud of the work that I did there.
Well, let's tell them about, this is maybe a little off course, but let's talk a little bit about your hobbies. I understand you like to fish and hunt, and you have kids. And
I do, yes. My wife Angela and I have 2 children, my daughter Lauren and my son Joey. And we enjoy being outdoors. We do a lot of kayaking and fishing when the opportunity presents itself. We also enjoy deer hunting and fly fishing, and I love my home waters are the Muskegon River and the Pure Marquette and the Baldwin. So we get up there quite a bit to fish when I have an opportunity. It's great with work and campaign. We can't always have an opportunity to do that, but I have a lot of passion for the outdoors.
Well, you mentioned with your charity work that a lot of it's about giving back, and it also relates to the kind of clientele that you've dealt with as an attorney, in terms of people who are in need, people who maybe need assistance. How important is tying your personal passions with your professional conduct?
Well, I think it's extremely important because you want to make certain that no matter who you're representing as an attorney, that they know that you're on their side and you're doing everything you can to help them, whether they have $1 million or they've got 2 nickels to rub together or they don't have any money. Mm-hmm. And I've helped a number of people that are indigent over time with matters, and they will say, I can't afford to pay you, or I can't afford to pay you much, but here's what's going on. And when you hear their story, and the difficulty is not everybody is always honest. And clients do lie, and people in the process do lie. And so you have to be a fair in giving them every benefit of the doubt and hoping that you can help them. And so in making that choice, you have to be very careful and cautious, and you want to help people when you know that they're being honest with you and you can see and feel the frustration that they're dealing with and that they need help and they have nowhere else to go. And so that's been important to me, is that when a client's problem, they come to me with a problem and a client tells me what's going on, it's as important to me as it is to them, because if it isn't, then they're not going to want me to help them, and they're not going to feel like they're getting the representation they need. So you can't wear it on your sleeve, but at the same time, if you don't treat them as if the problem is yours, they're going to see that and they're going to know that, and it's not fair. That they deserve the representation that they feel taken care of. And that's my job, is to take care of people's problems as an attorney.
Well, I think one of the things that's often not talked about, but hopefully implied or understood, is that honesty and trust are really important, not only for you as an attorney with your client, but in particular as a judge. The more forthcoming and honest that a witness or a client is before the judge, the better you can assess whether you can make a more reasoned judgment.
Absolutely, and it's part of the canons of ethics for all attorneys, and then also for judges. We can't suborn perjury. We can't put somebody on the stand that we think is lying as an attorney, and I would never do that. So you have to be very cautious in vetting your clients and making sure that you really believe that you've done your diligence and you believe that they're telling you the truth before you would ever have them testify. And that also goes with the courtroom, that the judge has an obligation of making sure that he's overseeing the proceeding, that the litigants are sworn, and that they're giving them an opportunity to tell the truth, and that they're weighing the credibility of those witnesses and making sure that they give both sides an opportunity to present that evidence and present evidence with respect to the character of those witnesses, and that they have to weigh that. And that's part of a judge's job, is to call balls and strikes, so to speak, and decide whether or not that someone is telling them the truth.
Are there any new processes or procedures that have been implemented to help to facilitate people being able to make their child support payments or find scheduling arrangements? I mean, has the court come a long way from where it may have been 10, 20 years ago?
It has quite a bit. Right now, keeping in mind that the friend of the court has grown dramatically, and they're instrumental in making sure that people have ample opportunity to make their support payments, to try to collect their support payments if they're not being made, that they're given an opportunity to be heard if they're not getting their parenting time. So, and that's the function in that is made things easier for the litigants, but also in the participants, but also for the court, because they give them an opportunity with the use of referees to come in and have that matter heard first, and if they can't get it resolved, then they would proceed to the court. There are also payment plans, and there's agencies set up for people in order to get issues resolved that way. So there's plenty of support within the community for people that are involved in that as part of the system to get what they need, or to find out the resources that are there and give them an opportunity to make their support payments, assuming they're working, or give them an opportunity to make sure that if they are not getting their parenting time, that they can be heard and get an opportunity to make that an issue and get it straightened out so that they can see their children.
Well, I would imagine with family court, you're often dealing with personal crises that people have between each other or trying to manage raising a family. But could you explain a little bit to the public some of the processes that a litigant will go through prior to when they actually see the judge before a trial, or if they maybe need a trial at all?
But in family court, generally, if it's a divorce proceeding, typically when there's an issue with children, a marital divorce with children, there's going to be a conciliation conference right off of the bat. And so the parties are going to meet with the family court and with the friend of the court, and they're going to try to resolve the custody and visitation and child support before the case even proceeds. So within a few weeks of the divorce being filed, they're summoned to come meet. Lawyers don't participate in that, and there's a hope that they'll resolve that. The front of the court referee will issue an order, and if the parties don't agree with that, then their attorneys can object and they can be heard by the court. But assuming they agree with that, they proceed in that fashion. So some of the issues that happen outside of the court also deal with post-judgment. If people have a change in circumstances and it's going to change their custody or their support, those are motions that get filed, and they generally are going to see a referee beforehand before they would get to court on those issues. And there's a chance that they can get them resolved. In addition, while a case is pending, the court can send them again to a facilitated mediator, and in mediation, there's a hope if they're having some issues in that arena that the parties can resolve that short of further litigation and coming before the court.
Stick around, we'll be right back with Joe Bush, candidate for Muskegon County Probate Judge.
Hello, I'm Sean Mullally, and serving this community has been important to me my whole life. That's why I've agreed to run for state representative. Current Rep. Marcia Hovey-Wright and so many other community leaders are supporting my campaign because I understand that our state government's broken right now. Poison water in Flint, crumbling roads everywhere, and punishing new taxes on those that can least afford them. But I know we can fix this. That's why I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd. Join me, and together let's build a better future for Michigan.
We all make mistakes. As a defense attorney, I've seen just how costly those mistakes can be. I've also seen the importance of our district court judges' sentencing decisions. That's why I'm running for district court judge. My name's Joshua Eldenbrady, and I'm asking for your vote on August 2nd.
Celebrate the grand opening of the new Muskegon Farmers Market, now located at 242 West Western Avenue in beautiful downtown Muskegon. With over 100 vendors, the market offers fresh fruits and vegetables, flowers, pet supplies, honey, maple syrup, fresh caught fish, and much, much more. Their brand new building includes a year-round indoor market as well as an incubator and community service kitchen. This year, the Muskegon Farmers Market will introduce 2 new programs. The Power of Produce, teaching children ages 5 to 12 how to shop at the farmers market and prepare nutritious meals, along with Arts on the Market, featuring fine arts and crafts. You can enjoy live music performed on their outdoor stage as well. For more information, visit MuskegonFarmersMarket.com.
Hi, my name is David L. Tagg. I'm running for Muskegon County Sheriff. I attended Grand Valley State University, where I earned a bachelor's in criminal justice. I also attended the police academy there. I recently retired from the Muskegon County Sheriff's Department, where I served 30 years. I started off as a jail guard, later a bailiff, later a subpoena server. I would like your support on August 2nd. Please visit my Facebook page at David L. Tagg.
Candidates. I'm your host, Kim Kotis, and I'm joined by Joe Bush, candidate for Muskegon County Probate Judge. Well, Joe, let's talk a little bit about your experience being out in the public, trying to generate the vote, and kind of getting to know what's on the mind of the public.
Okay, well, Kim, I've been out campaigning quite a bit lately, and knocking on doors and talking to people, talking to clients about their experience, and just people in the public in general. And one thing that I can take away from my campaign so far is that people really want to be heard. They want to know that if they end up coming before a judge, that they're going to be given due consideration and due process. And a lot of people have never met any of the candidates. They've never been to the court. If they do know somebody, it's because they've had 1 or 2 legal issues, or somebody that they know as a lawyer has told them something. And so it's difficult to make sure that the rest of Muskegon County gets an opportunity to make an informed choice. So I appreciate you having me here to talk, and hopefully people will learn a little bit more about me. But that's the biggest thing I've learned, is that people, if they don't know anybody, they tend not to vote. And I don't want to see that. So I want people to be able to have an opportunity to know more about me and to understand that I care about this community. I care about the people. I care about what their concerns are, and it's important to me to be part of that process. You know, win or lose, I'm here to help people. And that's the one thing I've learned is that the people want and need to be heard, and that helps them and give them an opportunity. So know that if I'm elected as Muskegon County Probate Court Judge, I will be fair, I will listen so that people are heard, and I'll be patient and diligent in applying a lot of the facts to each situation so that people know when they leave the process, and their lawyers will know, that they will be given a fair opportunity and that justice will be served.
That's terrific. You know, your vote matters, and it's important that you show up on August 2nd and cast your vote, because the decisions that are made in the court do affect the families and the well-being of this community. And Joe, before we go, let's talk a little bit about the types of cases that will come before you as probate judge.
Sure. Well, you know, it's not just family law, and it's not necessarily just probate. Like I said, there's concurrent jurisdiction. It could be virtually anything. And some of the other issues that come up, you know, you're not just helping families, you're helping individuals. There are personal protection orders that are, there are numerous personal protection order cases that will come before the court. And right now, that's one of the largest issues with the docket, is trying to manage those. And what they've done is a number of referees are hearing those, but then those can be appealed. They'll have those matters. You're going to have adoption. You can hear matters dealing with abuse and neglect. So children who are being abused, and Child Protective Services steps in and tries to either remove parental rights or protect somebody and put them in a child in foster care until the parents can get proper training in parenting classes and learn how to care for their children properly. There are adoption. Within probate, you have guardianships and conservatorships for minors and for the elderly, and in dealing with some of the elder abuse issues that happen, and also taking care of just decedents' estates. So when you have contested estates, and whether they're contested or not, when someone passes away, and that's the biggest thing I've found in my probate practice is people who have no experience with the court ultimately will, because their parents or their grandparents will pass away, and if they have a will, if they have no will and they're intestate, ultimately if they own real estate, there's no way to transfer that title without going through the probate court unless they have a trust in place. So, and if those are contested issues, they will soon learn the intricacies of probate, and that it's a difficult process sometimes. And so those are things that I do now in my practice, and I think it would be helpful that our next probate court judge is going to be doing some probate work, has working knowledge of EPIC, which is the Estates and Protected Individuals Code, which is, so that's our state statutes on probate and trust. There's also a trust code under Michigan on how we deal with trusts. So it's not just family law, it's also dealing with all of those issues that encompass probate, which may come before this next judge.
So we have a few minutes left, Joe. Could you tell the public why you want them to cast their vote for you?
Well, I care about this community, Kimmin. I'm a lifelong resident of Muskegon. I care about the people here. I want to make sure that I can help people on a daily basis. That's part of what I do in my job now. And I think I can be really effective as a judge, impacting people's lives for the better every day. And that's important to me, that I help people, that I give people an opportunity to be heard, and that they know that justice will be done. And that is really why I'm running for judge. I want to be able to impact this community in a positive way.
Thank you, Joe. I really
Thank you.
appreciate that. And thank you very much for watching Meet the Candidates.